Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Kenny Marks. And there are a couple of characters that emerged in a few of his songs because Kenny loved talking about relationships and he followed through the meeting, the pregnancy, the breakup, and then the forgiveness. So I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to an absolute tower, not only in country music, where he's one of the most recognisable artists of all time, particularly in the 70s and 80s, but music in general. So because of that, we need to give this guy a couple of videos. His story started in 1938 in Houston, Texas. He was the fourth of 8 children, and he went on record to say that he actually grew up in very almost poverty and in federal housing, and life was not particularly easy for him. But he did graduate from Jefferson Davis High School, and also one of the few to go on. In fact, he was one of the first in the family to actually finish school. But music was something that was always going to be prevalent for this kid growing up. In 1950, he had a bit of a go as a teenage rock and roller, and he did release a single, That Crazy Feeling. And after that, he joined the Bobby Doyle 3, and because of the fans, they were signed to Columbia and Records. They did have a single, Here's That Rainy Day, that didn't go so well. So he actually went on to become a producer, writer and session user. In 1966, he joined the New Christy Minstrels, taking on singing and double bass. But it was in 1967 he would be with these guys with a while, First Edition. And the guy we're talking about is Kenny Rogers. Now, Kenny Rogers, as I've said, is an absolute tower in the world of music. He's got a beautiful style about him, very easygoing, incredible range with his singing as well. He's just the all-round performer, this guy. First Edition was pretty big, actually, in the 1960s until around 1976. And we had Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Now, this would be a pretty big song for these guys. I've got a live version of that one below with him and First Edition. That's pretty cool to have that one. It was pretty well established at this point that Kenny Rogers was going to be a storyteller, and it's very much this aspect of his songs that we're going to cover today. In 1976, he did launch a solo career, and United Artists said, yeah, come and sign up with us. You're pretty good. You're a pretty solid bet. Please come and sign up with us, which he did. The album Love Lifted Me came out, and he had a bit of a minor hit with the title track of that album. We got a studio version with a longtime friend, Dolly Parton, all the way back in 1976. Now, 1977, the self-titled album Kenny Rogers came out. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. The tale of the girl he meets in the bar, but the guy who was watching who she left and broke his heart. But they just went on it and did it anyway. This song went to #1 in 12 countries. So we've got a live version of that one below. In 1978, the world was going to change. It literally did change with this album, The Gambler. And this album was absolutely massive for Kenny Rogers. We've got a couple of songs off that album. We've got The Gambler. Now, we've got one song of this album. We've got The Gambler. We're going to have another song off this album in the next video. Don Schitz wrote this song. This particular song went to #1 on the country music charts and also won Kenny Rogers a Grammy Award. This is a great tale, this one, of a guy down in his luck talking to a gambler. You've got to know when to hold him. You've got to know when to fold him. You've got to know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money as you're sitting at the table. There's time enough to counting when the dealing's done. Everybody who certainly remembers the song remembers those words. You've got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. And obviously, in a songwriting context, this song can well and truly be taken to life in general, knowing when to call it, knowing when to keep going, and knowing when to celebrate as well. This is all part of the gambler. And his final words, of course, in the song, he does actually break even, as the song talks about. So we got a studio version of that one below. This is the iconic Kenny Rogers look right here. The beard, the hat, the suit, all of the stuff that made Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is in this clip, so we've got to have the official clip of that one below. In 1979, the album Kenny came out, and we had the song Coward of the County. Everyone considered him the coward of the county. And the poor guy, he made a promise to his dad that he was going to never fight. He was going to actually let people, in essence, walk all over him. And the climax of the song is that when his girlfriend gets raped, gang raped actually, he can't hold it in any longer. And not one of the Gatlin boys was standing. So we've got a live version of this one below. We've also got this particular song was turned into a movie which Kenny Rogers actually starred in, and we've got the fight scene from that movie as well, together with the backing. Coward of the County is an absolutely classic song for Kenny Rogers. In 2006, I thought I'd bring forward go a little bit forward. We got the song official clip of the last 10 years. Now, we are all out of whack as we have ever been. We might be our own worst enemy. The song is quite a poignant tale of all the things that we lost in the last 10 years of 2006, 1996 to 2006, who died, the things that we dealt with, the things that we achieved. But in amongst all of that, we've got a clip of a dump. And Kenny Rogers, who really does have a worldwide voice in many, many ways, and really quite an amazing voice still at this age. I think just wanted to make a bit of a comment that he didn't quite understand where the world had come from. We all love a story, don't we? We love a story when we feel safe in the hands of a compelling storyteller. And even putting that one step further, and that is when those stories become songs. And so all you need to do is for a song to start, and you actually know what the song is going to be and what the story is going to be, and you find yourself singing along with the words. We all love stories, don't we? And we can, I suppose, familiarize ourselves or be like the characters in the story. The story might even be about us, even though maybe not specifically about us, but we certainly resonate with characters in the story. Oh yeah, I know what that feels like. I know what that meant. Stories are a common human experience, and I think Kenny Rogers well and truly knew that with some of his biggest hits, which were stories. In fact, there was a band, Bloodline, that pretty well were his backing band from 1976 onwards. Kenny Rogers also had a bit of an acting career. He did get on The Muppet Show. I did actually find a clip of The Gambler from The Muppet Show, but it wasn't that exciting compared to the official clip. But between 1976 and 2018, he's had 39 studio albums, 43 compilation albums. And I must remember I had one of those compilation albums, and it was one of my most treasured cassettes as they were back then. 80 singles, and 30 of those have got to number one. 27 music videos. Now, that's a pretty amazing career. 39 studio albums in a 44, well, let's say a 44-year career. It's pretty amazing. And Kenny Rogers well and truly has been a legend, not only in music, country music, but in music in general. So it's good to be able to give this guy a bit of a tribute. And we're going to get on next time. So this time we looked at his stories. Next time we're going to look at his love songs. Now there's a couple of his songs which are some of my all-time favourite love songs. We've also got the most popular duet of all time in here as well. And so we're going to get on to the love songs next time. So until then, oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, the clips of those 7 songs are in the description below. So feel free to look at them, and also my last video on Kenny Marks if you want to recap on him. So until next time we get on to Kenny Rogers' love songs, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.